want to do the intro or should I?
You.
Okay. You say it's unfair, beware the scope of this fairness. I get under your skin like keratosis pilaris. I'm careless, so be lonely and perish, unless your name is Squeen or Felonious Ferris. Yo, hi everybody, my name is Demigloom. Welcome back to Middle School GSA. As a reminder, we are not middle schoolers. This title is just for fun. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host.
I'm Felonious Ferris. My pronouns are they, them.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. How are you doing, Felonious Ferris?
I'm really busy with school. How are you, Demigloom?
I am in a constant state of agony and I need help now. Somebody please save me. What are we talking about today?
I do believe that we are going to be talking about rap music today.
No, wrong.
Wrong.
Not rap music. We're talking about hip-hop music, which encompasses more than just rap.
I'd like this to go on the record, okay, you guys? Before we started recording, Demigloom said that this was going to be the rap episode. She said that. She could be quoted as saying that. It's true.
I could be quoted as saying anything. It doesn't mean I actually said it.
But you did say it.
No, I didn't. This is hip-hop episode.
I have chat logs. I have chat logs.
To the hip-to-the-hip.
I'll leak them. I'll leak them to Twitter. I'm going to get you.
Anyways, Felonious Ferris, what do you think about hip-hop/rap music? What does your relationship with it look like? Because mine is a very long story, and I have a feeling yours isn't as long as mine. So I'll let you go first.
I didn't really grow up listening to a lot of rap music. But I have a handful of bands and artists that I really enjoy. Overall, not terribly well versed in hip hop and its history.
What are your favorite rap artists?
I'm a really big fan of Arrested Development.
Okay.
They're an older group. Of course, I like MF Doom.
Fuck yeah.
I've been a fan of NWA for quite a while. And I think that my introduction to the genre, like the first time I sat down and listened to rap music and was like, okay, I really like this. Well, I think the first would have to be Arrested Development. But the one that really started sparking my interest, surprise, surprise, I'm a white person. I like acid rap. I like that album.
Bass? And that was your, acid rap was your introduction?
That's what really... I mean, I had listened to and really liked Arrested Development before that. But after acid rap, I was like, I want to listen to more rap music and get more into the genre. Which I ended up not really... I just haven't listened to an array of different artists. But, yeah, I'd like to know more and listen to more.
Now, I still plan on burning you a CD full of good rap music that you should listen to.
Slay.
Stuff that I think you'll like. So there's that. So chat, I am going to get Felonious Ferris into rap music. Don't worry. The transformation, the rap formation has only just begun. But if I could describe how I got into rap music, it was from a big man known as Dad, my father. He was a really, really great guy if you know anything about him. I have a lot of great stories about how awesome my dad was. And I don't talk to him anymore because he's so awesome that I'm just like, you're too cool for me. I could never live up to your expectation. No, this is a bad bit. My dad, in spite of all of his flaws, had a really good taste in music and got me into a lot of things, including hip hop. My love for hip hop started when I was 6 years old, and my dad was recording a song on his little, I think it was a 4-track recorder. He had a simple drum beat with bass. He was recording a song and he was like, yo, you're gonna rap on this. And he gave me some lyrics to start with, which were it started with beating down the block with the hip hop, don't stop. And I didn't know what that meant. I had no idea what hip hop meant. I didn't know what beating down the block meant, but that was cool. My dad started saying that all the time. Beating down the block with the hip hop, don't stop. And he made me say that on his song. And then he had me write a verse. And with a little bit of help from him, I came up with the following lyrics. I was running with a can until I saw a man. And then I saw a cop. And then I had to drop. Roll down the window and do the limbo. And my buddy Jimbo was talking to a bimbo. And after having delivered that verse when I was 6 years old, I was infatuated with just the concept of rap music. I wasn't really familiar with any individual artists or the history of hip hop or anything like that until much later in life. But that was how I got into it, and that inspired my passion for rhyming and coming up with words that rhyme and poetry and all of that kind of stuff. Was that little song that we recorded, and it wasn't until I was around maybe 10 years old, 10, 11 years old, that I started really getting into like really deep into like it was the Death Row Records era of hip hop, 90s West Coast rap, which was mostly Tupac and Dr. Dre, Tupac, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg. Those three artists, that sort of holy trinity of the Death Row Records era. And I think the first song that I got really into was Nothing But a G Thing. The one that's like 1, 2, 3 into the foe. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the dough, ready to make an entrance, so back on up, cause you know we about to rep shit up. And like it was like really corny, like almost 80s sounding rap music, but I was really into that. I was into the like hip diddy hop, rapping to the beat type of music. And from that, I got really into the Chronic and Doggy Style a little bit, at age 10 or 11, and eventually got really into Tupac. And the first Tupac song that I really connected with was Thug's Mansion. It was a remix of Thug's Mansion that's way better than the original one. The original one is, I don't know what the original recording is because this was posthumously released, but the original version of the song that was released has like an acoustic guitar. That one's not really good. I don't like the acoustic guitar on that song, but there's a version called the Thug's Mansion 7 remix, and I don't know who 7 is or why it's called the 7 remix, but it's really good. And it's a song where he talks about being in heaven after he died, and he calls it Thug's Mansion. And he like speaks to his mom from the perspective of his dead self, and it's just like a really emotional song. And that was the first time I think I like really super emotionally connected with music, and it wasn't just like fun or goofy. I had been into some stuff pretty deeply. Like I was a big fan of Bob Marley when I was really little. I had like Bob Marley t-shirts, and there was this like Bob Marley DVD that we had. I was obsessed with it live. Like live reggae music was so cool to me. I was into like the Beatles a lot. I have a liberal mom, liberal Beatles mom, and I'm trying to think what else. I was into a couple select songs too, like Breaking the Law by Judas Priest. I loved that song. I was a little into Metallica, a little into Megadeth, a little into metal, but it was mainly like very casually listening to music. I would listen to it when I went to bed. I would kind of have it on the background. I didn't really like care like what the songs were about, or didn't get really deep into the lyrics until I started listening to Tupac. And hip hop is so uniquely lyrical and lyrics based that it's like mind blowing what kind of storytelling can be accomplished through rap music. And I think it's a very underrated form, not of music, but a very underrated just form of literature and storytelling. And I think Tupac was a great introduction to it. He has a song called Brenda's Got a Baby about, do you know that song, Felonious Ferris?
It sounds familiar.
There's a song by Tupac called Brenda's Got a Baby about a girl, I think she's like 13, who was molested by her cousin and gives birth to a baby, and how it affects the whole community, how it affects her. And there's like just really dark, it's a really dark song, and it's like really corny, like 80s sounding. It's like an early 90s song. It's got that like clave it's got the same like clave that's in the Cha-Cha Slide. It's like a really corny old school kind of beat, but the lyrics are so good. And it's about, Brenda, who's got a baby, how she's got a baby before she's got a baby and she's barely got a brain. It's a damn shame. There's one line where it says she didn't know what to throw away and what to keep, and she eventually just throws the baby in the trash. And it's just like, I remember 11-year-old me listening to that and just being like, damn, I had the weight of the whole ghetto on my shoulders at age 11 in my privileged white middle class lifestyle. But like, those stories really, really connected with me, and honestly it helped me empathize with people. Not that I had a lack of empathy for people in poverty, but I guess not sympathy, but empathy. Like I was able to understand poverty a lot more from listening to rap music. It gave me a nice inside, like first person perspective to understand the struggles of people. Like I didn't really understand systemic racism or how why we're so segregated. I just knew that, like, my understanding of race at the time was pretty much just some people have brown skin, some people have darker skin, some people have lighter skin. I didn't really understand the implications of that. I just knew that, like, different people came from different parts of the world, and through obviously, like, history class at school, learning about the civil rights movement, but, like, learning about how it affects people today, it was all rap music, man. This shit is educational, especially for someone like me who, it wasn't created to teach me. It was created for people to relate to, and I don't relate to a lot of the subject matter in music. In rap music anyway. I just learned from a lot of it. And hip hop, I always describe as morally complex. Hip hop is a morally complex anti-hero. It is by no means perfect. It is by no means clean. It has its problems, but at the end of the day, I think it stands overall for good thing, and I think it's overall a positive force in the world. Now we can dive into, like, what artists are using hip hop responsibly and what artists are not, but I'm much more interested in celebrating it than trying to tear it down and trying to hold it against itself for its past and even its present and its problematic elements. I'm much more interested in, like I said, celebrating it. But Felonious Ferris wants to tear it down and ruin our fun.
I've been shoehorned into this role as the opposition against my will.
No, you don't have to be. And I will join you. I will absolutely join you in complaining about the abhorrent misogyny and glorification of violence and the problems that are in hip hop. The fact that NWA, one of the most legendary rap groups, has a song about kidnapping and raping women. The fact that I can't think of any other examples right now, but there's plenty. The fact that bitch and women and woman and bitch are used synonymously by a large fraction of the rapper population. The fact that gay people aren't respected in hip hop to this day as much as straight people are, let alone in general. It took so long for LGBTQ plus people to not even be accepted in hip hop, but, like, for them to be allowed to participate in it, period. There's a lot of problems like that. There's a lot of bigotry in hip hop culture.
I do think that is a really large aspect of why I haven't gotten more into the genre. Because just being faced with, just trying to listen to a song and a major theme being degrading me or violence towards people like me, it made it really hard to connect with for me, I think. I think that's one of the reasons why I like Arrested Development so much, because Arrested Development certainly has a few moments where they say things that I believe are quite terrible. But overall, the kind of callousness towards women isn't present, which I really appreciate and find easier to connect with. I'm not a fan of the glorification of gang violence. I think that hip-hop has done a really good job of kind of laundering the image of gangs in the United States, even to a crazy extent elsewhere. I forget which country it's in, but it's a European country, I believe Northern European, where there was zero gang violence there, and their rap scene started doing gang violence specifically to be loyal to their personas and the genre, which is insane, but it did actually happen. I'd have to look up to find more details, but just imagine if it has that kind of an impact in a place where there is no pre-existing gang violence. Imagine the kind of impact it has on a place like America where we do have pre-existing gang violence.
And we have thousands and thousands of young people growing up around gangs, contemplating joining gangs, and having competing influences, those being, anti-gang influences in their lives being undermined by the absolute glorification of it.
Yeah. And to be clear, I believe that gang violence is a symptom of inequality in our system. And yeah, I guess that's it. I believe it's a symptom of inequality.
I also don't believe, I can't speak for you, but I don't believe all gang members are inherently bad people.
Well, I don't think that I know enough about it to say that. But I guess I wouldn't doubt it.
I'll spare the explicit details because I'm not trying to out anybody here, but like I've known people in gangs locally, and it's not like every gang movie where it's like you just slowly degenerate your soul and just become cold-blooded, heartless murderer. It's more so a way of connecting with your community through doing bad things, of course, but it's not I don't think it's inherently evil to participate. I don't think people are inherently evil for participating in gang. And oftentimes it's the only form of protection. Like a lot of people don't know that I believe it was I could have this reversed, but like the Bloods were created and formed as simply a form of protection. After I believe it was a child got shot by Crips, and the gang violence got out of hand. A lot of gangs start simply for protection, for like there are gangs that just like that are like helping their homeless populations. There are gangs that are doing a lot of good things. But the problem is once it becomes like territorial, and when rivalry happens, and obviously there's dealing drugs, all of that stuff, like I don't think it's a sustainable thing. I don't think gangs are a sustainable thing. I don't think they're a good thing, but I think they can be started with good intention.
Yeah. I don't think that glorifying it is good in any regard.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be glorified. That's why I prefer artists like I prefer an artist like Kendrick Lamar, who is like acknowledges gangs and their existence and acknowledges his own participation in gang activity from a critical lens, and from a critical but also sympathetic lens. I think that's the best way to go about it, critical and sympathetic, rather than just purely I am in a gang and I will kill you. That's another thing, is like a lot of rap music I don't really like. Some of it sounds really good and I can jam out to it, but like there are a lot of songs, man, that are just like the rapper telling me that they fucked my bitch and they will kill me if I talk shit about them, and I'm just like, okay. Like, why do people... I don't understand why people are so infatuated with that kind of subject matter.
That's another thing that's kind of kept me away from the genre, because, like, stealing other people's partners seems to be a very consistent theme in a lot of it. And, like, even if people are just saying that, I think it's morally reprehensible to knowingly have sex with or steal, someone who's in a committed relationship with someone else, a committed monogamous relationship. And it's chronic through all sorts of music, and I just can't get the bad taste out of my mouth.
I was going to say, I feel like this is just as common in like pop music. It's just
Is
more
it
explicit
just as
in rap
common?
Music. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I haven't really observed it being just as common.
I don't think it's just as common, like there's the same amount of pop songs about it than rap songs, but I feel like you're more likely to hear a pop song on the radio about it than a rap song on the radio about it.
I think that would be because there are less rap songs on the radio. I do agree that it's more explicit in rap songs.
It's more explicit in rap songs. It's but in like pop music, like I don't know, it happens all the time in pop music.
Oh
too.
yeah.
I don't think
it certainly does. That's one of the reasons why I don't like Sabrina Carpenter. Because she like does not seem like a girl's girl to me, to be honest. And I don't dig it.
Yeah, that is something, and that's something that like I feel like I'm alone in this fight. So it's refreshing to hear you say that. I feel like I'm alone in being passionate about, being against adultery. And to be clear, adultery refers to some people use adultery to refer to like people in open relationships or like people in non-monogamous settings. Adultery simply refers to sleeping with somebody outside. I guess it's technically it means sleeping with somebody outside of your marriage. But the way you know what, I'm not going to say adultery. I don't want to sound like a priest. Yeah, I don't like cheating. We'll call it cheating, enabling cheating, stealing people's partners. I feel like alone in that fight because it seems like that's just we're reaching a point culturally where that's completely socially acceptable to do. And there's, you know, you see memes every day that are just like, come on, we've all cheated once or twice in our lives, and I'm like, no, I'm actually a very loyal person, and I think that people who aren't loyal are pretty shitty in that regard.
Yeah.
I can already hear the comments like, what about in an abuse situation? What about, yeah, I don't want to do the whatabouts. I'm just talking general.
Yeah.
That aside, can I tell some stories about my relationship with hip hop?
Of course.
So you remember a little song I made called Outer Space, right?
Of course.
I'm just gonna tell the abridged version of that story about how that song came to be.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a senior in high school, I had 2 senior years in high school because I'm unintelligent and can't succeed in an academic setting.
I also
I
had
hate
two
myself.
senior years of high school.
Well, you had you have a good excuse, okay? I don't. Okay, just let me be stupid. Let me hate myself.
No.
Let me be mean to myself here.
No.
Okay, fine. I had 2 senior years. My first senior year, I kind of liked this girl. She was pretty cool. You know, and she liked me too, and she was my girlfriend for a while. For about 6 months, I was dating this girl, and somewhere towards the end of that relationship, towards the end of that school year, I wrote a little song about how much I loved her and how she could never do any wrong and how she's the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen and how she's, you know, and how I want to be with her every moment of my life. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Demigloom, why would you do this? You know, obviously you're in a high school relationship. It's not going to work out. And I knew that at the time, you know. If you would have asked me logically, Demigloom, are you going to be with this girl for the rest of your life? I would say no. You know, obviously not. It's a high school relationship, you know, we're exploring. But at the same time, I just really loved her and I wanted to show her that, and I wanted to express that through song. So I made the worst fucking song I've made in my entire life called Outer Space, where I rap in this stupid high-pitched voice. I'm a rapper, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. I rap. I love the art. I participate in it in the most ethical way that a white person can, and that's by being honest. I don't think white people should adopt a lot of the I think there are a lot of tropes associated with rap music that are explicitly black. And I don't think white people should appropriate those characteristics unless they live them themselves. Hey, man, if you're a white fucking Crip from Compton and you want to rap about that lifestyle, go right ahead. But I have a feeling that most of you middle-class white underground rappers aren't out here doing selling drugs. You're not going to pull up with that stick and fuck on my bitch. You know, those things that these other rappers are talking about, this hood stuff that you rap about. It's not real for a lot of middle-class people, not just white people, but just like, you know, privileged people in general. And also, I don't want to hear about your struggling with poverty, you know, about how you never had shit. And, you know, a teacher said you were never going to be anything when you grew up. Because if it's not true, you know, don't rap about it. Would you agree with me, Felonious Ferris?
Yes.
It should be authentic. You know, if you're a white person, you should rap about your real life instead of rapping about what you hear other rappers talking about. And that's exactly what I did. You know, I wrote rhymes about what was on my actual mind at the time. And that was depression and being in love with this girl. So I wrote a song about this girl called Outer Space. I got my friend, not a friend, sorry, I say that, it sounds mean, just somebody I was vaguely acquainted with to do the hook. They sing a little interpolation of Ralph Tresvant song from the 80s. I made this cool beat. I think the production, would you agree with me at least that the production on Outer Space was pretty bomb?
Yes. It
was pretty good. But my lyrics you agree with me that my lyrics were pretty cringe, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty corny. But, like, I was trying to be, like, shameless about it, you know? I was trying to be, like, you know, I'm just going to shamelessly express how much I love my girlfriend. And I could bust the verse out right now, the first verse. It's like, I did this stupid, horrible, high-pitched voice. And it goes, "You're all I ever think about, you're always on my mind. You mean more to me than everybody else combined. The day you confessed to me, how could I ever decline? 'Cause another girl like you was impossible to find." That kind of stuff. Not the worst rhymes in the world, honestly. Like, I was like, I can't believe Because I can't believe a girl like you would want to date me until I'm in your arms and you pull me back to safety. Yeah, I can't keep a straight face in your presence because every time we share the same space, I'm in heaven. I think that's pretty good. Keep a straight face in your presence, space, I'm in heaven. Like that's like a 1, 2, space, I'm in heaven. That's like a 5. That's like a what is 5? Not quadruple, quintuple. Is that 5?
Yeah.
Is quintuple 5?
Pentuple.
Pentuple. What is quintuple? Is that 8?
I don't remember.
Pentuple, whatever. Pentuple. It was a pentuple rhyme scheme. You know, pretty cool shit in there. That's another thing. That's another thing with white rappers is we all have convoluted rhyme schemes because we're just allergic to copying Eminem. So that's one thing. But it is an impressive thing to pull off if you could do it well. But anyways, I make this song. Felonious Ferris fucking ruins the experience for my girlfriend, embarrasses the shit out of her because they play this because the song I made for a school project actually in a class where it was music production, and I took this music production class all smugly because I already knew how to do everything, so I was just like, I'm gonna show off, and I did. But no, I actually helped a lot of other people make music, and it was really fun. But anyways, in this music production class, they play it for the school. And Felonious, they have the school like rotate in different groups, and they presented this to I'll just call it your homeroom, and you were in her homeroom, right?
Yes.
And so they present it to your guys' homeroom, and everybody's like, what is this song about? What do you guys think this song's about?
It wasn't everybody. It was Aaron in particular.
Our teacher?
Yeah. Aaron asked me what the song was about, and I said it was about her.
He asked you in particular?
Yes.
I thought he asked everyone.
He asked me because he knew that we were friends.
Okay, well, that makes it a little different. I thought he asked everybody, but apparently you shouted out, you were like, it's a love song about, and then you said her name.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was extremely embarrassed because the song was terrible. Spoiler alert. She pretended she really liked the song. I don't think do you think she liked that fucking song?
I don't know, but I don't like her. Song. So her opinion doesn't matter to me, and it shouldn't to you.
Look, all I'm going to say is it makes me slightly embarrassed knowing she's probably showing that song to her friends and laughing right now. Okay? That's a little bit embarrassing.
You're not a mind reader. That's the cognitive distortion. You don't know what she's doing right now.
I don't know what she's doing right now, but I guarantee she's done that at some point.
But you don't know.
I know her. Proof. I know her, okay?
Okay.
Anyways, long story short, we break up. Kind of mutually, kind of her breaking up with me. You know, I'll take the L. We could say she dumped me. She breaks up with me. We're on good terms. It's all on some we still want to be friends type shit. And then, to make a long story short, she starts spreading some like crazy rumors about me that aren't true at all. Felonious Ferris can attest to the fact that they're not true.
Yeah, I can absolutely attest to the fact that they're not true, and it's not like circumstantial or anything. Like, they were not true. She lied.
She spread a bunch of verifiably false rumors about me being transphobic and me being a horrible person to her.
Mm-hmm.
Things that were verifiably false. People, everybody involved who, actually knows me, took my side in the end. But she ended up basically, she was a bit of a manipulative person, and I think she wanted to beat me to the allegations. So she was like, "You're manipulative," but traditional manipulative ex accusing you of being manipulative situation. And I didn't want to talk about this publicly, but now I just don't care anymore because it was so long ago. This is all in high school. I wish her well. I hope she's doing okay right now. I don't think Felonious Ferris wishes her well, but I do.
I think that if she has confronted the fact that what she did was terrible, and has actively worked to be a better person, I have no reason to hold any grudge against her. But I don't think that that's the case. So yeah, not a fan.
Understandable.
Not a fan.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan. I mean, am I allowed to say that she was weaponizing her privilege as a cisgender woman, and then feeding into trans misogyny by...
Yes.
She was taking advantage of all of that. And on top of just lying and manipulating. And I think that that's fucking disgusting. I think that that's absolutely disgusting. And, yeah, maybe if she's atoned, sure. Otherwise, I hope karma gets her.
I'm not the type of person to wish bad upon pretty much anybody. So, it's hard for me to say, but, I just, all I want, when somebody does something bad, I'm less inclined to say to myself, like, I hope that person gets in trouble, or I hope that person dies, or I hope something bad happens to that person. I don't really have those thoughts anymore. I've kind of trained myself to just be like, that's a very unfortunate thing that person did, and I hope that they grow and change as a person. With no very notable exceptions. Let's just say that. But anyways, we don't like her. She's bad. And we're at what kind of concert was this? Was this a punk show? I guess it was. It was like a hardcore show.
There was some punk, there was some pop punk,
There's some Midwest emo.
Mm-hmm.
Killer High Life is Midwest emo. We're at a show with Killer High Life, Sorry Machine, and a couple other bands. Local Madison, Wisconsin bands. And, me and Felonious Ferris are at this show having a great time. And we notice, this is like a year after she spreads all these lies about me. I notice she's there, and she sees me, and she gives me the dirtiest look ever. She mean mugs me like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" Like, she didn't say that, but that's like the look on her face. And she like steps aside with her friend like she's afraid of me or something. I'm like, okay. And from how I describe myself, would you say I handled the situation maturely?
No.
I did the right thing. No,
not maturely.
Not this night. Not this
night.
Okay. I mean, previously.
Yes.
I never once responded to the allegations. I never entertained her. I never said anything bad about her publicly. I just said okay, you know what? That's sad. And I don't know. You've congratulated me for how I've treated.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Situation. And I'm proud of myself for having been pacifistic about it. But man, the devil was tempting me that night. I wanted to ruin her day. Not her day, but that concert for her, just because of that mean mug. Honestly, if I had just seen her with all of our past in mind, I wouldn't have done anything. But she was pissing me off. She was mean mugging me the whole time, acting like it was middle school and she had a crush on me. Wow, she stares at me for 10 minutes, and then as soon as I notice it, and then she looks away immediately. She's fucking with me, and I'm like, okay. I asked, one of my friends is in the band. I go outside. I ask him, hey man, I know this is weird. This is unconventional. Can I get some stage time? That scene in every Disney Channel show where it's the prom, and he the guy fucked it up with the girl, and he gets on the mic and he's like, can I have everyone's attention? And then he sings a love song or whatever. You've never seen a movie where this happens?
I haven't.
Okay, well, this happens in movies, but trust me. And I get on the mic, I get on stage, I asked everybody to shut the hell up because it's in between sets and everybody's walking around. I sing the following to the crowd. It's 10:45 in the morning, third period, insomnia, depression, and stress got me delirious. I'm fairly handicapped and I'm never taking it serious. I'm failing every class and my parents are hella furious. Silly goose, I was bumping some Billy Loose, trying to keep my mind off girls, but I got no excuse. I turn my head to the right and enter fight or flight. Across the room, nah, this can't be right. I saw the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. Her voice is pretty and her hair is dyed green. Fast forward a month and she's hitting up my machine. She said she had a party at her house on Halloween, so I showed up. I had a good time, we became friends. Chilling out, chop it up, like we the same sex. I started catching feelings, but did what I could to cover. But now all of a sudden, she wanted to be my lover. It made me so happy just to look at her face. And yes, I'm talking about that girl from outer space, the one that I sang about. You're my first real girlfriend. I'm hoping her and I'll hold hands till the world ends. But little was I aware, or no, not that part. It was, you're all I ever think about, you're always on my mind. She meant more to me than everybody else combined, and I'm thinking she feels the same, so imagine my surprise when it's over and behind my back she tells lies. I guess I should have expected us to break up sooner, because she was making life changes and I was just such a tumor. I knew her, but it was like I was stuck in the damn sewer and blew her off whenever she tried to help me maneuver. So let this be a lesson for children and adolescents. The perfect love story could turn bad in a second. Now she only enters my world with mean stares, oh yeah. And never date girls with green hair. I thought that was pretty good.
I think it's very good.
Thank you. It was a modified version of that because it was early. The song was a little earlier in development. The green hair line unfortunately wasn't in there. The last one, the first one, it was like, saw the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. Her voice is pretty and her hair is dyed green. I sing that on stage like a fucking Disney Channel climax, and she leaves. she leaves and never comes back. And I felt, was that a good thing to do? Did I do the right thing?
I think it's a neutral thing to do.
Okay. Would if I went back in time, if we went back in time and I told you I was about to go on stage to do that, would you be like, Demi, don't do that? Would you undo that if you could?
No.
Okay. And it was really funny, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was cool. I feel like I was the man that night.
Don't misgender yourself. Stop it.
Listen, I'm glad to be that man though, with as many mad fans as Anthony Fantano. Sorry, I had to say that. But yeah, that's my coolest rap story involving my relationship with hip hop as an MC. I thought that was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool story. Even though I probably would undo it because I don't think that was nice. It was a really nice thing of me. It was very petty.
Yeah.
It's like the most petty thing I've done in my entire life. But yeah. So you're probably wondering, Demigloom, you're a rapper? I didn't know this. Do you have any music out? Well, I have that horrible song about my girlfriend, not the one that I just sang, the one I sang earlier with a high-pitched voice. That's out. Other than that, I have a couple things on SoundCloud, but they're not good. I have the song about big words, just goofy shit. But I am working on an album, and I want Felonious Ferris to tell you guys the title of my album.
We'll have to bleep it.
No, you don't have to. You can say it.
Bag time.
Fag Time. Yep. It's fire. It's going to be good. Demigloom, Fag Time, the album. Coming out in 2025. It's the project of 2025. It's Project 2025.
Oh.
And it's really good. It'll be really good. And it has some hyper pop. It's got some rap. It's
Ragtime.
pretty, yeah, some ragtime too. A little bit of ragtime. Not too much though, because my love for ragtime, I had to come to terms. We could do a ragtime episode later maybe, but I had to come to terms with the fact that the rest of the world does not share my love of ragtime, and for me to make a ragtime rap album would not be a great idea. But yeah, other than that, I would like to talk about some artists that I really like, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Let me pull up my Spotify playlist. I could just talk about I think I want to talk about songs actually, rather than like artists. Do like artist profile. Suicidal Thoughts by the Notorious B.I.G. Biggie, man. Biggie, one of the greatest rappers of all time. It's definitely, I say that with 100% certainty. Definitely top 10. I don't think he's the best. I don't think he's number one. I also think Tupac is better than Biggie. That's my hot take. But man, Biggie's at least top 10, and that's something to be proud of. And he has this song called Suicidal Thoughts, and I remember experiencing suicidal thoughts as, an 11-year-old, 11 or 12-year-old. I think I was around 12 when I heard this song the first time. He goes, "When I die, fuck it, I want to go to hell, 'cause I'm a piece of shit, it ain't hard to fucking tell." And I was like, damn, bro. Like, I thought I related to that song in its entirety. But man, he was like, "If I die, fuck it, I want to go to hell, 'cause I'm a piece of shit, it ain't hard to fucking tell. It don't make sense going to heaven with the goody-goodies dressed in white. I like black Tims and black hoodies. God'll probably have me on some real strict shit. No sleeping all day, no getting my dick licked. Hanging with the goody-goodies, lounging in paradise. Fuck that shit. I want to tote guns and shoot dice. All my life I've been considered as the worst. Lying to my mother, even stealing out her purse. Crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. I know my mother wish she got a fucking abortion." And I'm like, God damn, this shit is like really fucking sad. It's like the saddest thing I've heard in my entire life. Just a very like beautiful, dark song about having suicidal thoughts and having been fuck it, I'll say it. I was very suicidal in like 7th grade. And I wanted to die. And maybe I didn't relate to black hoodies and black Tims, but I related to the blackness of it all. Like the darkness, sadness, not being black. It was really, yeah. And I think that's important, an important song in my evolution as a hip hop fan. Tech Nine. I want to talk about Tech Nine. Do you know Tech Nine?
I've heard of Tech Nine.
Tech Nine he's got some crazy shit out, man. I also think I don't know if he's top 10, but he's up there, man, as far as rappers go. But like, it's stereotypical that like his fans are white, which is not entirely true. He's like, the people who are deep into his music is a pretty diverse crowd, but like he does have some like really popular songs that are popular with like particularly white fans of Kansas City Chiefs. He has like some sports anthems that were mostly embraced by white people. But like he raps fast and like mixes rap with rock sometimes, so there's like a little bit of that stereotypical whiteness in his sound. But aside from that, man, like I shouldn't say aside from that, but like on top of that, he has some amazing music. He's one of the few rappers that raps like really fast that I like. Like rappers like Machine Gun Kelly, freaking even Macklemore sometimes, although I don't hate Macklemore. Trying to think of other rappers like Tom McDonald and all the conservative rappers, a lot of bad white rappers, Yellow Wolf, They rap like, I'm not a typical individual, critical, cynical, winner, pinnacle, finical, fiddle. You know what I mean? Like that. You know
Yeah.
that style, right? Like the bad hibbity. And they're always like, I don't like mumble rap, man. You can't understand what they're saying. And then they go hibbity. I'm a bit rap fast. I'm a white rapper and I rap fast with a snapback and a backpack and a clack and a rap brass and a rap and a lap and a black grass. You know, just like the nat. It's a bad Eminem impression is what it is. And a lot of rappers who rap fast, mostly white guys, do that very poorly. But Tech Nine pulls it off, man. He pulls off convoluted rhyme schemes, super fast flows, and just like ridiculously complicated shit, and like, you know, really impressive flows. So shout out to Tech Nine. Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator, one of my biggest influences as a rapper. He spit some edgy shit back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
he had a song where
He did.
I think it's fire, dude, personally. Most of it. Sometimes it makes me just roll my eyes. But you got to remember, he was like 17 when he started rapping.
It's
Like,
still,
bro was a child.
it's enough that I don't want to listen to those songs at all.
I don't listen to a lot of those songs. That's not true. I listen to a lot of those songs now that I think about it. But he has good explanations, okay? A lot of those songs are about like intrusive thoughts. A lot of it is metaphorical. It's not like just nonsensical edginess.
That makes it better, I guess.
Yeah, but like, man, some of it is just almost said non-sexual, nonsensical edginess. Like, his song 7 is fire track, but he goes like, I tell him to eat a dick quicker than Mexicans sprint over borders. I'm like, okay. like clearly just saying that for no reason. Or like, in Tron Cat, he goes, rape a pregnant bitch and tell my friends I had a threesome, which I'm pretty sure that song was about intrusive thoughts, but like, it's like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Aside from the needless edginess though, Tyler the Creator, a disciple of MF Doom, a disciple of that kind of era of hip hop, that like weird boom bap neo soul comeback that was happening in the late 2000s, early 2010s, or that was happening in the 2000s. He's just an incredible, in my opinion, he's an incredible lyricist. A lot of people are like, yeah, he's all around a good artist, rapper and producer combined. It creates something special, but he's not a great like lyricist overall. I think he's an incredible lyricist. He pulls off really good flows, really good voices. He does kind of like Kendrick Lamar. He has multiple voices to him. It doesn't sound anything like Kendrick Lamar, but like, you know, it's similar technique. Very good stuff.
And he's
very good subject matter.
He's queer, right? He's bisexual.
He's gay.
He's gay.
Bisexual. He's bisexual.
Okay.
He was theorized to be gay for a long time, but he's bisexual. He likes men. And he's got gay lyrics like, I've been kissing white boys since 2004. Like, great shit. He just released a bisexual anthem with Doechii, another great artist who, unfortunately, I don't listen to enough to talk about. Doechii's really good. Man. I have a nuclear take. I think the greatest, not the best, but the greatest female rapper of all time, in spite of her more recent controversies, is absolutely Nicki Minaj. Listen to her verse on Monster by Kanye West. It's a really, it's just insane. Her charisma. I think that's the thing with Nicki Minaj, is she does have technical ability. I won't take that away from her, but she's not like insanely, like, she doesn't like have insane metaphors or it's like double entendres or any of that crazy stuff. She just brings straight up charisma to the mic, like straight up charisma. And she's the best. She has the most charisma out of any female rapper. Artistically, I'm going to go with, Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill I think she's probably the best rapper and singer, like the best combo rapper singer. She does like R&B, neo soul, and raps. She could like in the Fugees, she was rapping her ass off. Very great MC, very great flow. The Fugees, the score. Have you listened to the score?
No.
Oh, dude, that's like just such an important piece of music history. You gotta listen to that at some point,
Okay.
or at least some songs from it. Very good music.
I'm putting it into my Apple Music right now.
Apple Music. I don't have Spotify. Yeah. Fuck Apple Music.
I get it free from my ex-stepdad.
Oh, from your ex-stepdad?
Yeah.
Oh, base. Brother Lynch Hung. Oh, man. Brother Lynch Hung. That guy's insane. He's got some songs about fucking killing and eating babies and shit. Like his, you would if I were to just like list off the subject matter of his music, you would think it was a death metal artist, but he's a rapper, a West Coast rapper. He's kind of got a Snoop Doggy Dogg kind of flow, but more of a Sacramento like Bay Area kind of sound to it. Really funky, wacky beats. He's been rapping since the '90s, and he's still going strong to this day. He has a song where like the hook is like, "Guess what Daddy's bringing home for supper," and it's like about eating dead babies and shit and feeding him to his family. It's like really fucked up. It's like the most disgusting shit ever. And he has a song. He has a song about about. I think he might have inspired Tyler the Creator. Honestly, he's got like a skit where he's like at the end of his first EP, he has a skit where he's like talking to the devil, and how he's like he has like a weird concept about how he's an atheist and he doesn't believe in the devil, but he still works with him. And it's just crazy shit for a rap artist in the '90s. Just crazy shit. He signed with Tech Nine in the early 2010s, I believe. Other Tupac song I really like is "Death Around the Corner." It's pretty self-explanatory. It's about how he can, and Tupac predicted his own death, famously. And he has songs about after he dies, songs about being dead, songs about seeing death around the corner. This song, and it was inspired by that famous picture of Malcolm X peeping out of his window with the AK-47. You know that photo, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's inspired by that photo, and it's about him just like being paranoid and staring out his window with his gun in his hand. And it's just like a really, really dark song. That's the thing is like when it comes to dark and disturbing hip hop, I really like the shit that's real life. As much as I love the shit about like, you know what I mean? They're like, no, man, the real disturbing hip hop is about like chopping babies' heads off and fucking being a pedophile and like killing, committing terrorist attacks. And I'm like, okay. But like a man like paranoid in his house, peeping out of his window with an AK in his hand is more disturbing to me personally, because it's something that he actually experienced in his life. It's a real thing rather than somebody trying to come up with the most fucked up thing imaginable and just saying it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll address the elephant in the room, that being Kanye West. Kanye West, I think, is arguably top 3 rappers of all time in terms of talent. I do not support him anymore, his endeavors. I don't listen to his new music. Kanye West is a Nazi and probably a sex criminal at this point. Part of me does feel bad for him because he's on nitrous oxide. He's addicted to nitrous oxide, and he literally can't. He's like senile and can't make decisions for himself. And he's absolutely a victim in a lot of ways. But at the same time,
and
his decisions
bipolar.
have been. And he's bipolar. Yeah, he's unmedicated, untreated bipolar. Part of me does feel really bad for him. And like, dude, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like when I hear about this shit, like I kind of just want to give him a hug. But at the same time, at the very same time, I remember all of his victims, all of the people who worked for him, all of the children in his fake like cult school, growing up in his like school where they have to pray to his dead mom. I think about all the people who have accused him of sexual assault. And at the end of the day, I feel more bad for his victims than I feel bad for him, and I can't support him. I can't. At a certain point, you reach a certain level, and like how could I tell a Jewish friend of mine with a straight face that like I love Kanye and who he is now still, that yeah, what he did was bad, but I'm willing to overlook like that. That would be just disrespectful. It'd be so disrespectful after him praising Hitler and hanging out with Nick Fuentes and all of that. Do you know about Kanye and Nick Fuentes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye is a Nazi. He is a paranoid, senile Nazi. And it's really, really depressing because his music originally was everything that hip hop should be. It was poetic. It was lyrical. It was pro-black. He made his own beats. Sure, he had some ghostwriters, but man, it was so good. His music was just so good and had such a positive message to it. And he was an incredibly self-aware character, and he was aware of his own character flaws. At the time when his character flaws were something we could forgive and see as charming. Now his character flaws are just beyond redeemable. But at the time, he was a rough around the edges guy, again, a bit of a morally complex anti-hero who was very aware of his flaws and was working to be a good person. All of his original albums, everything leading up to, I would say even leading up to Jesus is King was incredible. I love Jesus is King. I love that. It's one of my favorite, some of my favorite gospel music ever is Jesus is King. And it's just really sad to see how much Kanye has fallen from grace. And people who listen to his new music, I don't. Look, I'm going to be brutally honest here. I stream Kanye's music. Like, Kanye makes a very small amount of money from me streaming his music. But if there were a concentrated effort to boycott his music, I would absolutely participate in it. It's just at a point where, like, my streams ultimately feel inconsequential because nobody is boycotting him. And at the end of the day, he's going to continue to make millions and millions of dollars. But if there were a concentrated effort, or if they were to start removing him, I would absolutely stop listening to his music, or at least pirate it. Do you think I should? Do you think that's fair? That's a fair stance?
Yeah.
Like, given that, like, my street, if I'd be the only one pirating his music or not listening to it for the most part. And, if there was a concentrated effort, like, that's how I feel about a lot of the boycotts for Palestine. I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys. I got McDonald's the other day. Pretty much nobody is boycotting McDonald's anymore. I was with them when everybody was. And maybe I'm a weak link in a protest. Maybe I am. I don't know. But, like, the way I see it, the way I see it, when my participation in a boycott is consequential, that's when I'll do it. Yeah. Felonious Ferris probably hates me now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I got McDonald's. I'm sorry I got McDonald's.
I don't go to McDonald's, but I get it.
Should I stop going to McDonald's?
I think that you should.
I feel like are there enough people protesting it right now, boycotting it right now
I don't
for it
know.
to matter? I don't know. I'm still boycotting Starbucks because people are actively still doing that.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding was that, like, everybody was getting McDonald's again, though. But maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to what other people are doing.
Man, there's so many rap artists that, like, I feel like deserve. There's so many. There are going to be so many comments of, like, why didn't you mention this person or mention that person? But it's like, I only have so much time. We only have so much time here. I gotta give a shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Dude, Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly are probably they probably take up 2 spots of the top 10 rap albums, my top 10 rap albums of all time. I know I'm throwing out, like, really not ambiguous, but, like, weird, like, seemingly random numbers here. But, like, that's just the truth. Like, if I had to list my top 10 rap albums of all time, To Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City would both be on there. Good Kid, Mad City, I think, is really... I wouldn't say it's underrated because it's very well respected and celebrated. But, like, in terms of ranking, I feel like it deserves to be higher than where a lot of people place it. In case anyone was curious, I would also put... definitely... I don't know what else I would put on there. Definitely Graduation by Kanye. There are not a lot of, like, rap albums that are, like, there are a lot of rap albums. I would also put Food on there. So that's about 4. Fuck that. You get 4 out of 10 of my top 10. That's what you're getting. You're getting Graduation, Food, To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City. And I know that's a really basic bitch take, and I'm mostly talking about really popular artists here. But trust me when I say that I'm tuned into the underground of hip hop. Big shout out to... You know what? Let me pull up my other playlist. Also, I will leave a playlist in the description of this video, a Spotify playlist of what I believe to be 10 out of 10 rap songs. There's 73 songs on there, mostly from other artists, from different artists. What is Patata Bravas? Shout out to Necro, Big Pun, Cool G Rap, Onyx, Dead Prez, Fat Joe, Gangstar, The Roots, Ghostface Killah, the whole Wu-Tang Clan, Sabak Red, Nas, Black Tongue Society, if you've ever heard of him, BLAQ, Tongue Society, Zach De La Roca from Rage Against the Machine. That guy's a fucking rapper. Very good one. KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions. Tyler the Creator, Westside Gun, The Last Emperor, Common, MF Grimm, Jedi Mind Tricks, Vinny Paz, Lil Kim, Big L. I want to talk about, can we talk about compound rhyming for a minute?
Yes.
Do you know what compound rhyming is?
No.
So a rhyme, basically, like flight and might.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rhyme, right? Or like behold and fold rhyme perfectly, even though they have a different amount of syllables. They still rhyme. They both have old at the end.
Mm-hmm.
However, a compound rhyme would be like, give me 1 second. Here's a perfect one. The Bronze Age in LeBron James.
Oh.
That's a compound. Do you get it?
That makes
sense.
sense.
Get it, the difference?
Yeah.
So like the Bronze Age in LeBron James, there are multiple syllables that rhyme with each other. And two big innovators in compound rhyming are Big Pun and Big L. They were both 90s New York rappers who were both dead. Rest in peace. Two incredible MCs. I prefer Big L personally. Let me pull up some Big L here. All right, he's like, so like, you know, think about like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, like 1, 2, 3 into the foe. Snoop Doggy Doggy Dr. Dre is at the dough. It's just one syllable, and it's good. That's fire. That's a fire line. I don't have any problem with it. But it's only one rhyme, dough and foe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Big L here rhymes, has a quadruple rhyme scheme where he goes, I'm known to have a hottie open. I keep the shotty smoking. Front and get half of the bones in your body broken. And when it comes to getting nookie, I'm not a rookie. I got girls that make that chick Tony Braxton look like Whoopi. I run with sturdy clicks. I'm never hitting dirty chicks. Got 35 bodies. Boy, don't make it 36. You know what I mean? Like, and this was 1994, I believe. So this is like long before, spoiler alert, this style was popularized by Eminem. But long before Eminem came out and popularized compound rhyming, we had these rappers, Big L and Big Pun, who are doing stuff like that. And I think it's really cool. And compound rhyming is looked on as like, if it's like really convoluted, it can be really corny, but I think it can be done very tasteful. I'm sure you, Felonious Ferris, have heard rap songs with like ridiculous compound rhyming. I have a song called Big Words, where it's like a parody of compound rhyming, where it's like, I don't sweat it like ambidextrous alligators. I'm rope-headed like anorexic amalgamator. You know what I mean? Just like completely nonsensical. And compound rhyming, like searching for complicated rhymes can lead you... Basically, the more complicated the rhyme is, the less sense it makes narratively, the song, anyway. Because, but like, man, some people could do it so tastefully without throwing in words that don't make sense. And then other white rappers, mainly white rappers, fuck it up, and they go, send no havoc and lift me the endoplasmic reticulum, criculum, ficulum, liculum, lithium, and, you know, just overdo it and make it ridiculous. What are other rap techniques? Fast rapping I can talk about. Sumalama dumalama, you assuming I'm a human. What I gotta do to get it through to you? I'm superhuman, innovative, innovator, rebel, so that anything you say is ricocheting off of me, and I'm a glue to you. I know that I cut out on your end, but
it was really funny when it cut out on my end.
Yeah, it cut out on your end, but the viewers will hear it. Like fast rapping. Fucking annoying, in my opinion. Doing it too much. But again, it can be done tastefully. Other rapping techniques. Do you know any rapping technique? Could you identify a rapping technique?
Fuck no.
Screaming is interesting. I was actually a big fan of ragecore. Do you know what ragecore is?
No.
Do you know what trap metal is?
Yes.
It's like trap metal, but like more distorted and industrial. I was a big fan of ragecore and trap metal, so like a lot of screamo rap. I was really big into like Suicide Boys, XXXTentacion. Who else is in this? Like, you know, like Ramirez, Germ, the whole G59 crew, and also like a bunch of underground rappers like Tekken, Fakudo, Project. Shout out to those guys, man. Pretty cool, but like the screaming shit can be done pretty tastefully. Have you listened to Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar?
Yes.
He screams on that song, dude. Like in the later parts of it. Screaming can be done tastefully. It can be done. I don't know how to talk about more rap techniques actually, because that's pretty much my take on all of them. Is they can be done tastefully. But like some people really lean into like one technique or one style or one kind of flow, and it, you know, become a one-trick pony. And yeah.
Wow.
Do you have more opinions about rap music?
I'd like to listen to more of it and get more into it. But I've been saying that for a really long time and haven't really a whole lot. Well, I have a little bit, but I haven't been listening to a ton of it or anything.
Fair. I showed Felonious Ferris 2 albums. I showed them Food by MF Doom.
I had listened to Food before that.
In its entirety?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I also showed them 2001 by Dr. Dre, and they didn't like that one.
It just... So to our listeners, I don't remember how much I've talked about my music taste, but typically for me to really like a piece of music, it needs to be either extremely harsh or extremely loud or very fast, or it needs to be very interesting and engaging in some other way. And if it's not, I just can't pay attention to it. It's just ADHD, brain rot. I need to be constantly overstimulated in order to sustain attention. But yeah.
Have you listened to JPEG Mafia?
No.
I think you would really like him. I'll put some songs on. Oh, he came to the Sylvie recently.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't go, sadly. Can we talk about the concert we're going to go to?
Yeah.
We're going to see Machine Girl live, and it's going to be awesome.
True. True.
I love Machine Girl has some rap in it.
Occasionally. But it's
They're not a rap group.
No.
They're not a rap. I mean, it's a guy and a drummer. That's Machine Girl.
yeah. I mean, the touring band is 2 people, but really, Machine Girl is 1 person. DJ Chaotic Ugly of New York.
Very good stuff. Very good music. Oh, and Femtanil is opening.
Yeah.
I like Femtanil a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Femtanil is 2 trans girls, right?
I mean, I guess that it involves a trans girl with a name like that, but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's 2 trans girls.
It's dope as hell, though. I love Femtanil.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's the reason my boy's coming along.
Your boy?
Yeah. I don't get to call...
Can we talk about your boy?
I don't... Well, I mean, there isn't a whole lot to say. He's not my boyfriend yet, but he's my boy, and I quite like him.
Fuck yeah.
And he's a quote-unquote cisgender male who exclusively listens to hyperpop. He listens to nothing else. And he's in computer science.
Not hyperpop.
Huh?
Femtanil's not hyperpop.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
It's digital hardcore.
Ugh. Okay.
Are you into digital hardcore, by the way? Like, as a genre?
I mean, clearly I don't know what it is, because I thought that Femtanil was hyperpop.
What did you think Machine Girl was?
Breakcore?
Breakcore and digital hardcore.
Okay.
Do you know Atari Teenage Riot?
I've heard of them.
Oh my god. This is like, you would love this shit. You would love all of this shit. You got to get into digital hardcore.
Okay. Well, he listens to that stuff and hyperpop and some breakcore and fucking Echo 2K.
Echo 2K. Okay.
He's like sufficiently ashamed of liking Blade and Echo 2K, so it's okay.
Okay. Sufficiently ashamed.
Yeah.
Got you. Are you gonna come to my rap concerts when
I hope
finally
so.
release my album?
Well, I hope that I'll be able to go to the one that you already told me about. I will, once you release your album, I will make sure to get to at least one, hopefully multiple, ideally all of them.
Okay. You get backstage passes. You get in for free.
Wow!
All right.
I already get backstage passes with Zipper.
You do?
Yeah.
You were backstage with Zipper?
Yeah.
Without me?
Yeah. You were
When's
in
the last
your
time
you were in your not wanting to go to concerts arc.
Oh, okay. So this was then.
Well, also more recently.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. Not even inviting me. This is such a shame.
I don't. There's numerous. One major element as to why, but
What?
you live so far away, and needing to drive like 2 hours is hard.
Yeah, that's all right. Are you ready to read comments?
Yeah.
So on our last episode, first of all, thank you everybody for 387 subscribers. That means it's a lot of people to be tuning the show. Yeah, on our last episode, we talked about whether or not vigilante justice was actually good, and that released a few days before probably the most high-profile act of vigilante justice of our lifetimes. Very funny that happened right then. And we're not going to state our opinions on the very recent act of vigilante justice that just happened. And that's all I'm going to say. Celstray says, great video. You guys are hilarious. I pretty much agree with everything about vigilantism that you guys talked about on this podcast. Pretty much spot on. Also interrupt me if this is a really long comment, so interrupt me if you want. Also, I didn't know you guys were going to read my comment about what my idea of wokeness is in the last video. I'm a little embarrassed about it and wanted to say sorry about the weird comment. I was just yapping about whatever was on my mind at the time, but thank you for giving the time and reading it and expressing your opinions about it. I really appreciate it. Anyways, I know it's unrelated to the current topic about vigilantism, but I just wanted to clarify when I gave my definition of what woke is, I was trying to define its meaning from the perspective of the groups of people who generally hold negative opinions towards people with liberal or progressive views on politics. So, for example, like conservatives. Generally speaking, the word woke has a negative connotation to it. That what I think to be true anyway, but please let me know otherwise. When the word is being used, it's basically used to negatively criticize liberal politics or viewpoints that they believe to be bad, not good, even if it may seem to be a good thing towards liberals. That's why I think the inherent meaning of wokeness is what I said it is to be, because in practice, that's what it's generally being used for by the people who criticize left-leaning views. In other words, that's what they think it means. Whether something is justifiably woke or not from their perspectives, not mine, that is entirely based on the individual's judgment. And while usually conservatives are very biased towards their own viewpoints and that clouds their judgment. And while usually conservatives are very biased to their own viewpoints, and that clouds their judgment. So I always take their opinion for whatever they think is woke with a grain of salt. And just to make it clear, I'm only saying this because the word woke is basically used negatively under most contexts, which I think is why I think its meaning is what I said it is to be. But of course, if it is used differently, then I will happily change my mind on what the word woke basically means. So please let me know, because what did you say?
I said fair enough.
Because I wanted to understand better so I can help people. Anyways, I don't like the word woke. I don't like the word woke at all myself. It's not my style to use it to criticize any left-leaning politics, because I think that's a really dumb and wrong, since it won't bring people together. It'll only further divide them. While when you use the word woke to criticize, you're not doing it with sincere and good faith intentions. You're just being mean and narrow-minded. Not cool, bro. With that being said, if you're reading this, thank you very much in advance. If not, I completely understand, since there's a lot of yapping to be had here. I probably would ignore it too if I came across the comment myself, if I'm being honest. Haha. Anyways, I really like you guys' podcast, and I think you guys are great people. I wish you all the best. Take care and have a nice day. Thank you so much, Selster.
I love you.
I don't disagree with anything you said in that comment about the meaning of wokeness.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for sharing that. Sawyer says, "Are you guys in middle school?" Joking. I almost got really mad there.
Mm-hmm.
Sawyer also says, "We want barn animals and 14 minutes and 11 seconds. I used the word double-edged sword, and he said dichotomy would have been a better word, Demi, shaking my head. Yeah. I didn't think to use the word dichotomy. Sorry. Charles Moore says, "Great content as always. I need some advice. I have a SafePal wallet with USDT, and I have the seed phrase, alarm, fetch, churn, bridge, exercise, tape, speak, race, clerk, couch, crater, letter. How should I go about transferring them to Binance?"
Interesting
so
query.
obviously that was a bot. I felt like I would read that anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all the comments.
Wow.
Felonious Ferris, where can our listeners find you?
Places.
Do you have anything else? Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, but I'm places. You can look in the bio for my places.
Look in the description.
I'm not active in most places, but I do use Discord. So if you want to talk to me, at Felonious Ferris on Discord.
Join our Discord server.
Yeah, join our Discord server. I might talk to you. Otherwise, you can DM me and we can have a conversation.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Wow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.